Hey guys, welcome to game number 2 in this Zerg vs. Protoss series. We've got two teammates battling it out in this best of 3. It's Chaos Latin Gamers, both of these teams. Alright, so here on the top left-hand corner of Frost Ladder Edition, it's our red Zergy McFerguson, none other than JimRising! And here on the bottom left-hand side of that very same map, he is written by Douglas Adams, printed right on the front of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. None other than DontPanic! My lovely co-caster for this evening is Tyranus. Tyranus, tell us about this series.
Well, to start off, they're having some pretty friendly banter about Frozen. Yeah, about that movie. It was a great movie, and now Don't Panic has Let It Go stuck in my head again as soon as I got it out of my head for the past week. But it's actually looking like Don't Panic's going to start out with a Nexus first tier, which is pretty standard. No cannon rushes today, while JimRising's playing a bit safer, knowing that this is a possible elimination match for him with the hatch or with the pool first.
Yeah, Don't Panic has shown a prevalence towards loving its cannon rush folks, so I love JimRising's decision to not make that a possible option.
Yeah. And the plus side that comes with cannon rushing people is they're always afraid of you, so you'll get an advantage when you decide to play greedy.
Yeah. And we're actually seeing a slightly greedy build here by Don't Panic. We've previously seen him do expansions, Gateway, Forge, and then Nexus. Now that does delay the Nexus because you have to build the Gateway, but it allows your tech to get out faster and you to apply that extra bit of aggression that we've seen from him. This is greedier. Was that Forge first or was that Nexus first?
That was the Nexus first.
Awesome. So, as you mentioned, greedy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that also gives him a big up on his opponent because since JimRising did go for that pool first to be a little bit safer, he's like 1 or 2 drones behind of where he could be, and that's just better and better for Panic.
Yeah, exactly. Now, JimRising taking his 3rd base, very early timing. That is a response to what he is seeing out of his opponent. Hold that thought, because there's not really that much going on in this game that we haven't seen too much. Want to give a big shout out to IXLBritish, representing the 9th Legion, who has just tuned into the stream. How you doing, Paul? It is great to see you. How's the weather in Australia? And yeah, the games have actually been pretty awesome so far. Jim's played some amazing ones. We've mostly had Zerg vs. Protoss and Zerg vs. Terran. We only did one Protoss vs. Terran. There's not been another anti-Zerg matchup, has there?
No, we've done a lot of ZVPs, 1 ZVT and 1 PVT, so... Yeah,
so most of the matches have all included some crazy aggression. It's always the benefit of best of ones. People go all in. It's great. But yeah, the matches have been amazing. The VODs will definitely be up on YouTube, and you can check out last week's VODs as well. YouTube.com/misused Shaft. Paul, you can give everyone the link in chat if you don't mind, and feel free to stir up some trouble in there.
Yeah. Looking at this game again, it's looking pretty standard. JimRising getting really standard gas times at 44, and the Watchtower trying to be taken by Don't Panic. This is a pretty early +1 by Don't Panic, but it's also a really fast 3rd. This is a really, really fast 3rd, so he's probably just going to bank on defending this with just a few gateways and getting a cannon up in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And my question now, does Jim go for his hydralisk thing? Or does he go for the typical standard? At the end of the last game, he said time to play standard. So is he going to his standard, or is he going to everyone else's standard?
Well, with the Roach Warren coming down here, it looks like he wants to do some Roach aggression. I don't know if he's actually scouted that. Yeah, he sees the 3rd going down, so my guess would be that he wants to do some sort of Roach push. we'd have to see if the Hydra Den goes down as soon as the layer finishes. But this is a really late layer, or not too late, but late enough to not make
Later.
this push not as worth it. Yeah.
All right, so Jim, he's using his lings to poke around. He wants to again prevent any pylons, but he has taken a 4th base at 8 minutes, and I think he's actually playing reactive. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, it seems like in all the past games, he's like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Stay on 2 bases for 10 minutes and just crush you with my overwhelming army numbers.
Because
But
he can somehow do that.
yeah, because he's just a god. But right now he's playing it safe, playing it like he is. This is an elimination match for him, like I said earlier.
Yeah, and I would be a sad panda to see him eliminated. He is amazing. I at least want to see game number 3. Like, I'm gonna freely admit I have a bias. So, +2 on the way for Don't Panic. This guy has been on top of his tech upgrades. I feel like I've said that against every Zerg. Oh, Zerg has no upgrades. Oh, Don't Panic's working on +2. How does he manage that?
It's just really great timing on his upgrades. He knows exactly when they finish and makes the money to make the next one.
Yeah.
Also continuously chronoing it. Yeah. He's just right on top of it, like Zerg's on top of Injix.
So it's always wow. Yeah, there's actually a huge army supply difference right now, but you got to consider the roaches are taking up a lot of that, and roaches are hugely intensive on army supply, so those numbers are slightly inflated. I'd say, I don't know, Carson, the army's about even, right?
Yeah, with army supply wise, they're only 4 off, so they're not too different. He's also got defender's advantage with the photon overcharge, force fields, and he's only got 1 immortal out right now.
They're 36 off. JmRising has 36 army supply off.
Oh, I was reading worker supply. My bad. Yeah, this is looking a little scary for Don't Panic, especially with getting these 2 sentries caught out and the immortal. This is really bad.
Nice links around there. Roaches coming in to do most of the DPS. The lings are there to hold everything in position, taking some shots here for the roaches. The immortals, of course, shelling roaches, doing a lot of damage, but lings to absorb some of the shots. It makes the roaches a lot more viable. Now the roaches are being forced backwards just a little bit, but that attack did a lot of damage. It's mostly chipping damage. He's not going to be able to break into any of these bases, but he has reset a lot of the tech count here for Don't Panic, and that's going to make it a lot longer before Don't Panic can actually perform an attack, thus allowing JimRising to drone and take more bases.
Yeah, and on top of that, he may not have been able to break him there, but I think you stated this, he killed all the sentries and he killed an immortal. He traded very well despite not being able to do as much damage as one would have thought.
Well, we do have the Dark Shrine completing now. JimRising, he has done a great job being aggressive, keeping the pressure on his opponent, but one thing he does not have is detection.
Yeah, he's got no detection at any base. He has the ability to make an Overseer whenever he wants, though, which is the only thing that kind of makes me feel better about his position, but he can't let those DTs catch him too off guard, or else he could be taking a lot of damage.
Well, here at the bottom of Zanaga Tower, we do have an engagement. Roach Hydra's getting a good concave, and Don't Panic killing off a lot of the roaches, and was able to kill off a certain segment of the army, allowing him to become untrapped and allowed him to retreat a lot of his army. Now he is trying to engage here at the Fog of War Revealer, but he is able to retreat the majority of his army. Don't Panic could have lost everything there, but very wisely segments his opponent's army, kills off the units that were in his way, and retreats through the blood and guts.
Yeah, I'd like to take a minute to say those were like some of the best force fields I've ever seen. He did it right perfectly so that he splits the roaches off from the hydras so that the hydras are just barely out of range, with only a few of them being able to hit, while he can kill all the roaches for free.
Now the Ling's providing a great buffer here for the Hydralisks. We're again seeing that Hydra Ling style that JimRising makes so famous. Huge number of Hydralisks. But once the Lings do fall, he's got to retreat these Hydralisks, and he's getting behind this Fog of War Revealer. If his opponent tries to attack through that, the Hydralisk would be able to devastate him, so both players forced to disengage once he runs through the brush.
And meantime, during that battle, these DTs were wreaking havoc in his base, forcing a lot of missed mining time and killing 22 drones. While some of them are still alive.
Wow.
Only,
7 kills on that particular DT right before it died.
and
And
even
there's
killing that base.
mm-hmm. Wow, JimRising getting completely devastated in the wake of his attack. Now the question becomes: JimRising still relatively close to his opponent on worker count, but DontPanic's got a slightly bigger mineral income. Is JimRising out of this? Like, did that kill him? Is this +3 gonna be a nail in his coffin, or does he still have an option? Can he still tech out of this and get some pressure on his opponent?
He's down, but he's not out. He had DontPanic's the only really big part of his army composition right now is the fact that he's got 5 immortals.
Mm-hmm.
And while JimRising has 20 hydralisks, all that JimRising really needs is a nice engagement with a good concave, and he can come back in this game like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real splash damage to deal
Well,
with.
here goes. Roaches moving in on the Stalkers. We've got some really good force fields peeling the Roaches away from the Hydralisks, and that's going to make this retreat very costly for JimRising. Lost a lot of his Roaches there. He's got Roach Hydra in production, though, but he is lacking the larva to really produce anything. He's got to wait for his next round of injects. 13 Roaches on the way. That's going to double his Roach count once they pop, but we still have no Hydralisk speed, and I feel like that has really played its part here.
Yeah, hydralisk speed is really limiting his ability to split and get the good concaves he needs. But we'll have to see if it matters right now with this battle coming up.
Yeah, Stalker's blinking back. The Immortals taking a lot of these shots, but Immortals take forever to kill, and the Roach Hydra force is dwindling here. More Roaches are in production. We've got some units reinforcing. Here, he's got to be careful what kind of concave, but I think DontPanic has whittled this Zerg army away. There it is. OP Protoss, bruh.
He's got he just got the better concave with more units, and I think his upgrades were actually better. I am not quite sure what.
Yeah, he definitely had a higher attack upgrade.
Yeah, so everything went right for him. He had more units,
Mm-hmm.
he had the better engagement, and he had more upgrades. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, that was a +3 timing attack that he actually JimRising hit for him, because, you know, Jim was aggressive just as that +3 finished, and then DontPanic just followed Jim home and said, "Oh, you forgot to unlock your door? Let me open it up for you. I'm gonna come crawl in bed with you and stab you with a knife."
Yeah, that's one way to say it.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what happened there, guys. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. This is it, guys. This is actually the end of our qualifiers next weekend, Friday and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be having the playoffs. In case you're wondering on the standings here, let's go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna link Drew to the Base Wars Liquipedia real quick, so you guys can take a look at all the player standings. Here you go, Drew. Okay, here we go. There it is. Follow that link. Show them the screen, your main screen capture, and you can show them the players ranking. JimRising is currently ranked number 1. DontPanic is ranked number 3rd, but these guys will DontPanic will gain quite a few points here for first place victory. JimRising gonna get a few points, but we'll see how it ends up once the qualifier number 7 brackets are filled in. Either way, JimRising almost guaranteed a spot in our playoffs. And you guys can take a look at the bracket. Carson, what are your final thoughts here on both this game and this tournament?
The tournament was really great. A lot of ZVPs that we casted today, and a lot of great aggressive games out of the Zergs. I like to see aggressive, non-standard Swarm Host style games, so I was really pleased.
Absolutely, dude. And what do you think about that last game? Jim, were there mistakes there, or was DontPanic just a different caliber? Like, tell me about that series.
I think Jim's scouting kind of trickled off at the end there with not recognizing the DTs incoming, and he also overextended a couple of times. One time being at that watchtower, the other time being right outside of his base, when he could have had a better defender's advantage rather than pushing into that Protoss army.
Nice, man. Well, I do want to thank everyone for coming out here this evening for tuning in. Please check us out next week. Please check out our YouTube. That is youtube.com/misuse shaft, linked in the chat. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at only shaft. Also, Carson, I believe you have a Twitch that you like people to visit.
Yeah, you guys can follow me at my Twitch at twitch.tv/Tyrannus96. It's a Masters League. I usually stream ladder games, so if you want to see me practice, you can go there.
And Drew, would you like to go ahead and plug your team and say your final words?
Sure. Hey guys, good to be doing the screencasting with y'all tonight. I had a lot of fun observing and showing the stream there. You can find me at twitch.tv/DrewUniverse or through the clan at pmsclan.com and click on the forum link on the front page, and you can find our StarCraft section pretty easily and mingle with us there if you'd like, but mainly just the Twitch feed for now, and we're going to get our practice session started here in a minute.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. Hopefully, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.